All right. What is up? And welcome to KplusGaming Corner. And in this Outriders live stream, we are back at it. This time with the Acari Pyromancer. As usual, I'll take a moment to kind of go over what we're trying to get done tonight in terms of the build and how we're going to be running this. Could have went a couple of different ways with this, but I figured, you know what, I want to play around with some burn status. All right, going right into it, and starting with the skills, going Heat Wave, obviously, as the Acari set bonus, and I should explain, I'm sure everyone knows, but in case, every enemy damaged by your Heat Wave is granting 25% extra anomaly power bonus for 10 seconds, which is pretty much going to be up the whole time, as long as you keep throwing out your Heat Waves. I got my Heat Waves pumping out every about 6 seconds. I'm using Phaser Beam, and I'm going Eruption. For now, I'm just using a plain old Epic Purple, but this one rolled kind of nicely with Fortress in the APOC slot, and then Resistance Piercer. And then for reasons why I'll explain a little bit, I'm using Noxious Spawns, but that could be switched around. I could go Mage's Rage, I could go in a couple of different directions. And then I'm using the Moaning Winds Radiation Splash reload mechanic. For the headpiece, we got the helmet of the Acari. This one coming with Danger Close, although I am currently trying to farm for something a little bit better. Danger Close isn't too bad, but with the Acari, you're not in close range as often as you would think. This isn't like the Trickster where you're hunting the prey behind enemies, or the Devastator where you're up close and personal, punching the ground and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm not sure how much this is really helping me, but it's useful enough. It could be a lot worse mods that could come in that spot. And then Heat Wave, which is making the Fire Tsunami, which is making the Heat Wave the width of the firewall. I'm not sure. It says it increases, but I feel like it doubles it. Either way, we have the Giga Blast for the Eruption, increasing the skill's radius, pretty much doubling that. For the armor of the Acari, this one came with increased duration, so the eruptions are lasting about 50% longer. Got Tidal Wave, so we can throw out 2 Heat Waves, and then I threw on Size Matters. Bowie said burn status is nice. Yes. Oh, you will see. So our Phaser Beams are being it's making our Phaser Beam the radius pretty fat, nice and thick. We're gonna be hitting a lot of enemies with this. And one of the things, and I'll probably get to it as I go along, but I might as well mention it now. Ashen Champion was something that I decided not to use. Usually if I'm using Phaser Beam, I'm going with Ashen Champion, because that, as you're hitting enemies, it's granting you some extra anomaly power, but it's causing the Ash status instead of the burn. And I'm like, I kind of want as much burn going as possible. I felt like it was kind of getting in the way of spreading burn around. And so I am not going with Ashen Champion. Instead, I'm going with no resistance against the Fortified on the pants. And then we have Anomaly Echo here. So no resistance against the Fortified is increasing our resistance piercing by 65% of our armor piercing value. So far, we have our armor piercing at 40%. That's another reason why I'm using this gun. We have armor piercing here is 30%, and then I have another 10% in the Ascension tree. Can't really, and I'll go to the class tree now. Can't really reach some of these armor piercing nodes, because I am going pretty much bottom tree and then coming up through the middle. So if we get to the end of the middle tree, every time we throw out a Heat Wave or the Phaser Beam, we're pretty much in this way increasing our armor piercing value by another 45% and our resistance piercing by 45%. So this is really, really ramping up our anomaly power. And then while I'm here, I might as well go into some more of the class tree. We get enemies afflicted by burn of getting 15% more damage. We're coming up here, so we're getting a little bit extra anomaly power for all of these max health nodes. And then I'm down here grabbing a little bit more anomaly power, a little bit of cooldown reduction for the eruption. And every time we're throwing our eruption, we're increasing our anomaly power by another 12%. So that's pretty much the class tree, how I'm running it. Packs tree, we're down below, and we're coming up. We're grabbing Scorched Flesh. So this one is kind of important because every time we're throwing out our Heat Wave and doing the Phaser Beam, it's increasing our status power by 10% for 5 seconds, and it stacks up to 3 times. So it's getting it up to 30%. And we're pretty much doing our Heat Wave and our Phaser Beam all the time. Status power is important for ramping up the damage of your Phaser Beam, because the Phaser Beam is kind of dependent on how much status power you have. The higher the status power, the more damage that's doing. So that is very useful. Obviously, we always want convection, so every time we're tossing skills, or no, every time the skill is on cooldown, other skills are getting 2 seconds chopped off. Unfortunately, they kind of nerfed this. This used to pretty much happen all the time, but now it's on a 3-second cooldown, but it's still cool. And then our status power is increasing by 15% for each enemy afflicted with burn, and everybody's going to be burning. And this stacks up to 5 times. Very, very useful furnace. And then we get burnt offering. So this is also important. This is what's going to really, really take our burn to the next level. So it's increasing your burn duration by 500%, and each consecutive burn tick on an enemy is dealing 20% more damage. Right? So back to the the gear that we're doing. I didn't mention burnt out, so damaged enemies are taking 15% more damage from our heat. Damaged enemies from the heat wave are taking 15% more damage. I got purple gloves and boots. Now the gloves, this is why I am using Noxious Spawns. I'm kind of stuck with Radical Therapy here. For an extra 8% damage to enemies afflicted with toxic. So the Noxious Spawns on the guns, that's kind of spreading some toxic around. Pretty helpful. It was either this or go with these gloves, these Charms of the Lava Lich. I could use these as well, but then, you know, we get max health, and I don't really feel like using max health. I want to get more anomaly power in. Right now we're sitting at 2.1 million. And then we got Pompeii and Etna, so that's how we're throwing out 3 eruptions before triggering a cooldown. Plus with Etna, now our eruptions are inflicting burn on enemies, so we're getting more burn. And then with the boots, we have Unstoppable Force here, so this is where the no resistance against the fortified really kicks in. It's increasing, because Unstoppable Force, our resistance piercing is increasing our anomaly power, and with Unstoppable no resistance against the fortified, where I have that on the pants, right? Our resistance piercing is getting increased by our armor piercing value. All these things are ramping up our anomaly power. I will easily be able to get to like 4 million, maybe 5 million during the course of any expedition. And then we have a volcanic armor. Although volcanic armor isn't something I need to have. It's just these boots I'm kind of stuck with these, and then I threw on Captain Hunter volcanic armor. If I get a better pair of boots where I can use something else, I will gladly switch that out. But for now, it's helpful for some decreased damage coming in as you're sitting there pumping out your Phaser Beam. Anyway, then I'd be good to go. But that's another thing. Is there a way I can fit bullet kindling on here and maybe forego one of my eruptions and switch out Pompeii? I don't know if that's what I want to do either. I don't know. I'm thinking. But bullet kindling is kind of important. What I need is a pair of purple gloves that come with bullet kindling in the APOC slot, and then like Pompeii or something. Is Pompeii something that can come on gloves? You know how it is where some of the mods are stuck. Well, it looks like Etna can come in the 3rd slot. I think I'm going to take one of the eruptions off. Where am I going? I'm going to put bullet kindling on, because that's actually crazy to not have bullet kindling in the build I'm trying to run. Like, the hell? Bullet kindling should be a staple. That's 12%. Yeah, there we go. Bullet kindling. Okay. All right. So we'll go with this. Etna we want to keep on because that's also spreading burn around. Get that crawler the hell up out of here. Is that a bird? Where do you go? There. Oh. Your endless masses be coming in at like just the right time. All right, all right. There we go. Got almost 50 million on that phaser beam. Ooh. It's all up in my face. And as we were just talking about, like, yeah, heat waves, you got to be careful. But we handled that very nicely. Where's that bird at? I missed. I want to burn the bird. Is he too far away? Nah, got him. All right. Is there another? Who's over here? Yeah, that's a lot of damage. 4 billion. The burn. This is what I like to see. Lots of burn. Phaser beam is humming. And eruption. You know what? 2 eruptions. An eruption is still doing its thing. I still want 1 more eruption though. But it's doing its thing. Not bad. Not bad. We're getting there. We're getting there. And oh, your boulder dash is doing some stuff too. Nice, nice, nice. Gravity leaping around. All right. Huh. Okay. Cool.